Channel surfers. It is almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon and I'm about to drink because Dee just told me to go get beer.
Remote reality, yeah, that's the key. Unlocking stories wild and free. With a host, side by side. Channel surfers, let's ride.
Welcome to Remote Reality. This is Lauren.
And this is Dee.
Happy Tuesday. We are here for our 90-day hunt for love. How was your weekend?
Very busy.
Yeah.
I had my son and my grandson here for the weekend, and he's 2, so enough said. I think anybody that's ever had a 2-year-old or has one knows exactly what I'm talking about. I needed a vacation from
his brother has the same name as your grandson. I'm not going to say which brother, but just interesting fact.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's also my dad's name.
No, your other grandson.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I had no plans. Last minute, I went and got this sprinkler toy that was inflatable for the kids. And my friend came over with her daughter and we drank margaritas, made infused tequila, put jalapenos in it. So it takes on the flavor of the tequila. It's really good. So yeah, that was my 4th. And that was Friday. We already had the poop cruise ready, got that out there. On Saturday, I was feeling Friday still a little bit. Should I do true crime Saturday? And then I thought about how much stuff we had put out this week that was true crime. We had the Diddy, we had the Koberger. So hopefully you guys forgive me for taking Saturday off.
It was a busy week.
It was a crazy week. This week, we might be able to drop something else. We will be back with True Crime Saturday. Just depends on what Dee has put on my calendar. But 90-day hunt for love. Boy, that doesn't know what bi means. I was not expecting any of that.
I was not expecting it. I was not expecting what he thought it was, which is hilarious. Hilarious.
As traveled as this person says that he is. But yeah, this is a crazy episode. Make sure that you subscribe if you're on YouTube, follow if you're on Apple Podcasts. Just a quick reminder, help our algorithms out so people can find us. And let's jump right in. 90-day hunt for love, the boy who doesn't know what bi means. So this week we start off with where we ended last week. Colt going to town on Rob and Jennifer because he is trying to defend Elise.
I didn't quite understand the first time why he was so mad, and then it came out in this episode that he's defending Elise.
Absolutely. That's his game. He's like this non-threatening nerd, and then he swoops right in to the rescue, just like he did with Courtney and Usman.
Yeah, and he's pissed. You can tell he went from 0 to 60 in no time.
Well, that's exactly what Tim said. He went from 10 to 100, but it was so funny because Tim, while Rob is sitting there defending Jennifer, saying, look, we are all grown adults here. Nobody needs to be mad after a week. After 1 week, if you're this upset, you need to reevaluate, process that, figure out why you're so mad after a week. And Tim is sitting there nodding his head yes. He's agreeing. And he don't like Jennifer, as far as the edit is showing. I don't think they really have beef here. I think this is just drama that the producers are drumming up for the show. It's been 7 years. But he's sitting there shaking his head in agreement with Rob. You guys are so immature. Move on.
Yeah, but I think he actually is kind of enjoying the attack on Jen just a little bit. He's got a grin on his face when people are going after her.
Definitely. But he also realizes this is ridiculous.
Yeah, because this whole group is...
It was so funny because Tim, you're right, he's enjoying it. He says he is the literal iteration of the Michael Jackson eating the popcorn meme, which apparently, if you use memes, you're old. So it's fine. I'm old. Whatever. I use memes.
Apparently, I'm old too because I use them all the time. I love memes. They're hilarious.
I love the Michael Jackson eating popcorn one.
Yeah. But this whole group is going after Jen. In particular,
most of them, Porn Stash is definitely, this is too much drama. Y'all calm down.
Yeah. The girls are, though.
It's wild. Mind your own business, which it's funny. At first, the coaches are sitting there basically like nothing's going on. They're just kind of staring there in shock that all of this is unfolding, which I'm like, what are you guys doing on the show? We've seen you 5 minutes doing some dumb exercises, and now you're just going to stand there while they fight. But at the end, they basically are like, mind your own business. If you want to fall for somebody, then you need to ignore the drama. All right, channel surfers, I am back. Sorry. The nicest people are here helping me clean my house. And I told them, don't worry about the rest of this room. They can only see behind me. So we're good today. So sorry for the interruption, but we're back. We are talking about the coaches. So basically the coaches said, we're here to date other people. All right, guys, like that's the whole point of that, to date other people and to learn dating skills. So mind your own business. Don't get all up in the rumor mill. Of course, they're not listening at all.
No, they keep going. No, they just keep on talking about it.
Yeah, for the rest of the episode, like nobody can stay in their lane. So what happened this time? We saw Colt just going at Rob and Jen at the end of the last episode. And then Colt is like, well, who are you fucking? Are you fucking Rob or are you fucking Cole? Well, why does she have to be fucking anyone?
Why does he need to know?
All of that. Like, you didn't even hear the sounds. You're listening to Tiffany recount what she thinks she heard, which heavy petting can sound that way too. And also, none of your business.
Well, if they were in water like Tiffany thought, it could be a number of things.
It's hard to do that in water, too. Water's not the best lube.
No, it's not.
So Jen, she goes, I can date anybody that I want. I'm not in a relationship. Absolutely. Spot on. And like I said, the coaches reiterate that at the end. And Tiffany tells Jen to tell Cole that.
Because he's getting hurt. He's getting hurt by this.
That's his problem. Process that. It has been a week.
Yeah. It's a Cole issue. It is not a Jen issue. She's there for the experience and she's going to do it.
The coaches are completely at the end that this is what they're backing up. Cole, like, what is he talking about loyalty? I can 100% guarantee you that Jen has not claimed to be committed to him or monogamous with him or said that she's only dating him. And he's sitting there saying they're going to work on things. What things are you working on? Like, you need to be working on getting to know her and understanding she's getting to know other people.
Yeah, he's just way too in his head, I think, for this kind of a show. Honestly,
this isn't right for him. And then he says that she's gaslighting him because she says, I don't owe you anything. You're being controlling. And that's not gaslighting. I went into Google. I was like, this is not gaslighting. So what's gaslighting? Manipulation. It's where you have persistent lying, undermining the victim's confidence and making them question their own judgment. You know what? If you're questioning your own judgment right now, Cole, you need to be, because it's been a week and you're acting like you're in a relationship with this person you don't even know, who's there to date other people and has told you so.
Yeah, she's just being honest. I don't see how that's gaslighting at all.
You know, she's making you question yourself. Maybe look inward. Control, trying to control the other person. She's not trying to control him. She's like, look, we're here to date. I'm dating other people. You date other people.
Yeah, he's the only one that's been exhibiting any kind of controlling behavior whatsoever. Every episode, it's something.
Emotional abuse, which his feelings are hurt because he's created this relationship in his head.
Mm-hmm.
Not her problem. She's there to date like everybody else. Except, you know what? She's a little bit more passionate. It's fine. So some examples were denying something that happened when the victim has clear memories of it. Apparently he has clear memories that they are like in a relationship, engaged or something, the way he's acting.
Well, again, he's been acting that way since like what, episode 3? 2, 3?
Blaming the victim for the perpetrator's actions. She's not blaming him for her action. She's simply saying that I am here to date.
Yeah, he's delusional.
Isolating the victim from friends and family. She's not isolating from anybody. He has basically turned everyone against her and is trying to isolate her from dating other people instead of, getting to know her and them consenting to be in a relationship because they get along so well. And then constantly criticizing the victim's judgments or perceptions. I mean, okay, yeah, she's constantly criticizing him because he's acting like he's in middle school. Like they have gone on one date and all of a sudden their love's forever. He's writing their names on a binder with a heart around it.
He's carving their initials into the tree.
Forever. Dear diary. I mean, this is so immature. And the people hanging out in the group are not helping this at all.
No, they're enabling his behavior, I think.
Absolutely. I mean, he said he's going to have trouble trusting her now. All he wants is honesty. She has been honest with you. She said she's dating Rob. She doesn't owe you every single detail, just like she doesn't have to go and kiss and tell him everything she's done with you. If she's doing it with you and you're not monogamous, assume that she's testing the other cars too.
She's checking out them other flavors.
She is. When we talk about isolating and how Cole is isolating her from everybody else, this is evident when Jennifer, she's done with it. He's controlling. She wants space. And then Elise goes, well, you're breaking his heart. All right, Elise, mind your own business. And this is where Rob comes on and goes, it's been a week. She's a grown-ass woman. If anybody's heart's broken, evaluate that. And this is where Tim is sitting there shaking his head, yeah. But then Colt playing his game, trying to get on Elise's good side, is sitting there jumping on Rob for even talking to Elise like she's a good woman. I'm sorry, Colt, what are you, the protector of Jen's purity? Why is this any of your business or any of Elise's business or any problem? And why is Elise a good woman who sat there and basically had her tongue down Rob's throat on night one, but Jennifer isn't because she was making sex noises from the pool?
I don't know what's going on with these people, honestly. Maybe they don't have anything better to do because nobody else is really connecting other than Jen with her two guys. So they're just sitting there. Okay, let's just talk about Jen.
And that's what Jen says. She's like, Colt, you're just jealous. And then you see Rob in the ITM saying, you know what, Colt, who was sending dick pics to other people while he was in a relationship, which completely forgot about until he said that. I saw the dick pics.
Oh.
Nothing
to talk about.
Nothing to write home about. But yeah, everybody saw that. Completely forgot about that. Anyway, but is he the morality police? Is he Jen's chastity belt? What is happening here? Let the girl go and have some fun. And I sit here and I'm like, would I have the same questions if a dude was hooking up with two different girls? Well, if he was like, look, I'm here to get to know people. I'm dating this person too. No, it's been a week.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, Tiffany, this is why you mind your own business, because she doesn't even have this story straight. She's sitting there saying that the first night Rob tried to go and get it in with Elise. So why is he going to believe that he didn't do that with Jen? Okay, no. The first night, from what we saw, he told Elise to go home and go to bed because she was drunk. And then he called her. They had physical distance. It probably was not a good idea to continue hooking up with somebody who was that drunk. And I think he knew that. He sent her back to her room. She kissed him, and then he was like, not tonight.
Yeah. And she had that big blow up. What was it? Episode 2, maybe?
Episode 2.
Yeah, over the threes where everybody got the threes.
You know what, Tiffany? You don't know the whole story. You don't need to know the whole story. And you are juggling two different men at this point. We might add some more by the end of the episode, but let's not be all judgy-wudgy. Let Jen do her thing. Maybe they're secretly wanting Cole or secretly wanting Rob and they're jealous. I don't know. Well, Elise, that's why Elise has a problem.
Yeah. It entered my mind that somebody was interested in Cole maybe or Rob. And that's the reason why because it seems to be really more the girls other than Colt that are attacking Jen.
Colt's doing it to get Elise. So Elise, she was the same place that Cole is. Relationship in her head after night one when she drunkenly made out with him. And then Tiffany, maybe she feels like Jennifer could be a threat to one of the many guys she's juggling. Like maybe she could take the attention away. Maybe that's why she's feeling that way. It's like maybe she's claiming girl code, which that's great. But like, if your girl's wrong, you just need to go to her and be like, look, it's okay. It's the first week. Just get to know other people. That's why we're here. I'm dating 2 different guys. Follow my lead.
Exactly.
Follow Jen's lead. Anyway, yeah, this is very middle school. How did we get here? How did we get here with a bunch of late 20, mid 30? Tim is 44, and he's sitting there like, God, these kids.
I have no idea. I'm a little shocked, honestly.
Honestly, Chantel, she talks about how mature Joe is for 25. Compared to some of these people, yeah, he's looking quite mature compared to some of these people here.
I agree.
And that's where we go next. We go on to the dates. So Chantel and Joe date, and they're going to tag along with Usman and Nikki. All right. So they're going to do a beer bath.
I'd never heard of it before. It was a beer spa, actually. Didn't it say something like beer spa on the outside of the building when they walked in?
Yeah. So I think it's specific for doing beer baths. What was your first thought?
No way, no way, no way. I am getting in a tub full of beer.
Do you want to extrapolate on that?
Well, you know how I feel about hot tubs. So I don't know if these are fresh beer baths every time somebody comes or not. That was the first thing.
It does seem to be, which we didn't know at first.
And then the second thing I thought is you're going to completely smell like beer, which is not the best smell, I don't think.
No, I mean, I like beer and it smells like a skunk.
Can you imagine getting pulled over on the way home after a beer bath?
Even if it's like a good IPA, it's still got like a little skunky.
Yeah, you're going to be doing a field. Yeah, you're going to be doing a field sobriety test for sure.
One time that the officer has like, you smell like alcohol, and they're not lying.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking.
I had the same concern, but also I thought yeast infection, like when they started explaining that it's not just beer that's there, you're basically going to make it yourself and you're in. It's like you add the ingredients for a beer, the hops, the yeast, and put it in your tub. And I was like, well, are you going to get a yeast infection? So I had to go to the Googles. I was like, what is going on here? So according to Google, beer baths, they're claimed to be good for your skin. Mm-hmm. They're supposed to be good for detoxification, but that's not necessarily proven. Apparently they have a very low alcohol percentage, but they still have a little bit of alcohol. There's just not a lot of time for the fermentation. But even with that little bit, that can help dry out your skin, which isn't exactly what you're necessarily going for. Mm-hmm. And another thing, there was a dermatologist who said, yeah, this could definitely cause yeast infections. Just rinsing off with water afterwards doesn't take care of that. And we hear that later. We hear that from Jen. And
I just thought it was disgusting. I wouldn't do it.
Who was saying the yeast infections later? No, it was Courtney and Tiffany, maybe?
Somebody said it. I remember somebody else mentioning it. It may have been Courtney, because
it was Courtney. She
gets
was looking for information about Usman. It was Courtney and Elise. That's who it was. Okay. Sorry.
Got
I'm
it.
not up in my notes. I had to dig deep. Anyway, but yeah. And another thing it said on Google, it's like the smell of beer is one of the benefits. Like you said, no, it's not.
I want to smell like coconuts in the ocean, not beer.
Like sea salt and ocean water. Like I'd rather smell like ocean water than smell like beer. I digress. So to each their own, but it was a beautiful spa.
It was. I can say that. At least
there were wooden planks on the walls. There was this big, like, black stone tub. It was absolutely gorgeous. And then Nikki and Usman, they're not with Chantel and Joe. They're off on their own. We're going to get to them in a minute. Chantel and Joe, though, they're getting real cozy. They get into this, and Chantel is saying that Joe is everything. He's tall. He's handsome. He has green eyes. He has an accent. He's the total package, everything she wants. You need to look a little deeper, Chantel. Like, pretty didn't work last time with Pedro. You might you might have some different standards besides he looks good and he has an accent.
Well, I think he treats her really well, though. He's always very respectful with her when he sits down and talks to her and stuff. And I'm sure she finds that appealing as well.
And she asks, have you ever dated older women? And he said, yeah, I had a girlfriend that was a couple of years older. I wonder what a couple of years means, like 27? Like her lowest was 27. I wonder if his highest was 27.
I don't know. And she does keep mentioning his accent. And I swear I keep listening for it when he's talking and I don't hear one.
Really?
No, I don't hear it. I think there was maybe one word that he said after she said that because I was like, I'm going to have to pay attention to this. And I might have noticed just a little bit of an accent with it. I don't know what the deal is. Maybe I can't hear well either.
Hey, Grandma.
We know I can't see.
We're in the same boat there. But, maybe Joe and Chantel are meant to be because Joe mentions he needs to get to know Chantel's values. And then the next thing we see is he's talking about her swimsuit, which I'm going to say she was stunning. She had on this hot pink swimsuit and she had flowers in her hair that matched it. It was very cute. She definitely, I feel her pain on those big bust problems. It's so hard to find a swimsuit where the top matches the bottom. And she has like such a small little waist. And then like this huge rack. So I'm also thinking like, ooh, girl, where'd you get that suit? Although it does look like she's about to spill out of the top of it. At one point, I thought she said her nipple was floating out, which I'm like, yep, that happens. But I rewound it and I really don't know what she said.
She was rocking that swimsuit. It looked amazing on her.
But yeah, great values. Was that swimsuit a great value? Where did that swimsuit come from? Hit me up, slide into my DMs. I need a swimsuit. I sent Rob to get me a swimsuit and he came back. It was not good.
I've been swimsuit shopping lately and I have to say it's depressing. I can't find anything that I like. What I like isn't going to look good on me anymore. So it's kind of like camouflage shopping instead of bathing suit shopping for me.
The swimsuit I got looked like a long sports bra with flowers on it and a pair of shorts.
Oh, crap.
And it had a high neck.
Shit.
So
it was clothes.
He was like, I'm going to show you. Don't ever ask me to pick out a swimsuit for you again.
I can relate to that. There's been many times I was like, okay, if I do this really bad and fuck it up badly, I will not be asked to do it again. So,
yeah. So that's pretty much it for Chantel and Joe's date. Now, Usman and Nikki, when they're on the bus and they're riding to the spa together, Nikki sees a dog eating out of a trash can and she's just completely heartbroken, which I totally understand that. I know you do too, Dee. Like,
yeah.
There have been points where I've had 4 dogs. You've had 5 dogs before at once.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would have been stopping to pick the dog up.
Now, Nikki has never been to another country. Have you ever been to another country?
No, I've never been out of the United States.
So, like, seeing animals on the side of the road, there have been a lot of places I've been where it's not uncommon. Like, even cows and stuff, you just see them on the side of the road. In fact, this kind of reminded me of the heartbreak I had in Costa Rica. Not Costa Rica, Nicaragua. Sorry. Costa Rica, actually, the spa reminded me of the spa when we went to Costa Rica. God, I can't remember what year it was. Maybe 2016. This reminded me, also, we went to Nicaragua in 2016 with my friend who is from Nicaragua. He moved here when he was 12. He's now a major in the Marines, major pain in the ass. But anyway, so we're riding and we just got there. We're going to our hotel. We're in the Uber and the people in front of us hit a dog. And you just hear like a shriek and Byron is laughing. I'm just like, this is nope, stop. Do not laugh. This is horrible. I'm still, it's still a process. I think I brought that up to him when I saw him a few weeks ago. He was in town visiting. I was like, yeah, remember that first night? But he was like, the dog. I'm just like, oh my God, you're a psychopath. Anyway.
Tell me somebody stopped to check on the dog.
I don't think there was anything to check on.
Oh no, it was that bad.
No, gosh. Yeah. No. I just kind of pretend that I didn't see or hear any of that. The dog was fine. It was like that deer that you had and it just got up and ran off.
Mm-hmm.
No internal bleed. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. But this is not uncommon. Like, I went to St. Lucia. Gosh, such a long time ago. It was for Ray's wedding. And there were these dogs that would just hang around the resort and they would get food from people. And apparently, her name,
Nikki.
No. I'm talking about the dogs in Costa Rica.
Oh.
Hold on. This person, God, this was like 15 years ago. And she ended up dying not that long after. She was a singer from Europe. Hold on just a minute. Let me figure out who this was, because she used to go to the resort and feed those dogs, and she died not too long after that. But we were like,
Was it Selena?
Dogs. No. That was more than 15 years ago.
Oh,
Hold on. All right, I'm back. And died in 1995. It was Amy Winehouse. It was the first one that came up when I looked, and she passed away in August of 2011. This was in July. No, she passed away in July of 2011. We went to St. Lucia in August of 2010. So it was like almost a year later that she passed away. I still had pictures in the album of the dogs because everybody at the resort were like, oh, those are Amy Winehouse's dogs. Every time she comes here, she like gets them an extra burger from the buffet and brings it back to them. And they were so cute. I still have the pictures. So I had to go back and look, but anyway, yeah, it's not uncommon to see animals on the side of the road. So Usman and Nikki, they're not doing the beer bath.
no. They're doing, I think it was an energy cleanse or something like that.
They're in like some sort of smoke hut. They're like being smudged.
It was kind of weird, but I think it was more like a spiritual kind of cleanse.
And that's exactly what Nikki says. Nikki's like, this is weird. And Usman's like, this is weird, but I'm doing this to show Nikki that I'm not afraid to try new things. Well, this is Nikki's first time even traveling out of the country. So I don't think she's like big into trying new things either.
No, doesn't sound like it.
She's
And then
like, weird. She's probably sitting there thinking like, do I have to pretend to like this? Is he into this?
I think that she thought it was odd because of the woman that was there that was doing I'm going to call it saging. I don't know what it would be called, but I'm going to say saging. And then she would blow on the conch shell very loudly, I thought.
You know, I'm going to cleanse your mind's eye. I'm going to cleanse your heart, which maybe I need to go have my mind's eye cleansed because I don't see things in my mind's eye. When I close my eyes, it's all black. Like when I think about things, I don't see anything. Maybe I just need a mind's eye. I need to go put some smoke in my forehead. Fix that. Aphantasia. Fixed. So I'm not sure what it is, but afterwards they do say, oh, I guess I feel a little bit better.
Well, they end up in a pool. Like, I didn't quite understand. They went from that to a pool, and she goes in fully clothed.
Hydrotherapy,
Okay.
which I was like, oh, what's not going to be? Well, it looked like a hot tub. Yeah, and she did not bring the swimsuit, so she goes in her dress, which actually reminds me of another vacation. We used to always have our bankruptcy conferences. Every other year, we had a contract with the Omni Grove Park Inn in Asheville, North Carolina. And the last year that we went there, I didn't bring a swimsuit, but we decided to go down to the spa, and they had these like huge pools and tubs, and it's kind of like in a cavern. It's so awesome if you've never been. So what I did was I went over to the shop, and I got a tennis skirt and a sports bra because they didn't have swimsuits. This was like in early March in the mountains. And I went into the spa, like went swimming in the tennis skirt and the sports bra. So it definitely reminded me of that.
Well, Usman was impressed that she went in the dress. He was like, you know, she just goes for it. She's not hesitating or anything.
And at this point, I'm thinking that he's feeling her a little more than she's feeling him, because she was also like, oh, this is kind of intimate for a first date, which I didn't think it was that intimate.
I didn't think it was.
I don't know. But if she's trying to scare him off, she definitely confused the heck out of him and scared him off.
Yeah. And I think she did manage to scare him off in the process because she decides to tell him that she's bi, and the look on his face is complete confusion. And he starts talking, and he's like, oh my gosh, I was laughing through the whole thing because he thought bi was using both holes.
Do I have to put it in your butt?
Yeah. He thought it was using both holes.
Because I don't do that.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing just thinking about it because it was just and it's such an innocent mistake for him. I'm sure it's probably maybe, I'm thinking something cultural that he doesn't.
Well, I did deep dive into that a little bit, but she's like, no. And he's like, well, then how are we supposed to do it? So she explains what it means, that she feels attraction for men and for women. And he says that he's not very much acquainted with that. So I went and looked in Nigeria. I know that some of the African countries do have Muslim populations. I actually made an A in Sharia law, women in Islam, when I was in law school. I took that class, so I know a lot about Sharia law. And I was thinking, oh, well, I wonder if this is Sharia law. So what I found out is in Nigeria, about 50% of the population is Muslim, about 40% is Christian, and about 10% are different African spiritualities. Now, in Nigeria, there's 12 states in the north that do go by Sharia law. So what Sharia law is it's a law that is based on the Quran. It's based on religion, which for Americans, that is a very unique concept to us. For any of our listeners outside of the United States, this may not be unique at all, but we have the separation of church and state. So we're not supposed to have laws that reflect religion. Now, what I found out is that there are bans on same-sex couples in Nigeria on a federal level, but they also apparently allow polygamy up to 4 wives.
But I don't think either one of them are really interested in each other. I think everything they've disclosed about each other has not been appealing to the other at all.
I don't think that Nikki cared at all about the polygamy. She's just like, oh, okay, interesting. And Usman, I just find it hard to believe he doesn't even know what bisexual is, because he's like, I'm worldly. I'm from Nigeria, but I travel all over. So I'm just like, do you remember that kiss between Chantel and Jen where you were like holding your package because you were so excited? But, as far as blending, what if they did end up together and he wanted her to come to Africa? He might be concerned that she could be targeted for who she is. So I don't agree with him yeah, he's just happy he made Courtney jealous. I mean, I think
that was the whole point of it anyway.
The whole point. And we get to that when we get to this tiki bar. But before we get there, Chantel in this beer bath with Joe, where she said she wanted to lick the beer off of him. Also, no, I'm not going to be like licking bathtub water off of you.
No. That's beer, body, sweat, and nah.
But he's just like, I don't bite unless you ask. And she's like, ooh, I think the person for me might be here. Well, what about Nikki?
Yeah, now we know that she's bi, so there could be something with her and Chantel.
And Chantel is bi-curious, so she wants to explore that. They're both from Florida also.
Oh. Maybe there'll be an after show thing where we find out that they ended up going out on a date or something.
Maybe it happens later in the episodes.
Maybe.
We just have to stay tuned. But, okay, yeah, sorry. ADHD just kind of back over to Usman. Usman's not really a pet person either, so probably not a good match. Not right there. Just scratch that off. Anyway, the tiki. So we are done with the dates. Let's get everybody together and give them alcohol. See what happens.
We're going to have a tiki party at the tiki bar.
Tiki party! So on the way to this tiki bar, Cole wants to smooth things over. He goes up to Jen. He's like, let's talk about where we are.
Okay.
The coaches said that there was a communication problem here. Absolutely, because she already told you she wants space.
Yeah, leave me the hell alone. I don't want to talk to you right now.
She hasn't come back and said anything new. She's still wearing that awesome white outfit with one sleeve, like onesie. So cute. She hasn't changed her mind yet. She told you you're controlling and I want space. What in your head is making you think you guys are anywhere?
I'm telling you, this guy in his head thinks they are in a relationship.
But then what in her head makes her think, I want to fuck Rob and marry Cole?
Sounds like she might be playing a little.
Or the edit is just cropping that out from earlier.
Yeah, because that came out of the blue. Rob's for fucking, Cole is for marrying.
But you know what? again, we've got to go back and watch these seasons. I do remember that Rob had jealousy with his wife because she was bisexual and he felt insecure about her being bisexual and other women also being a threat, which, I mean, you shouldn't feel insecure about either. Like in a healthy relationship, you know that the person's with you for a reason. So kind of like I've said before, just drop them both and go to square one. It doesn't have to be either of them.
Yeah, I get that. But I think she just wants her cake and eat it too at this point. That's what I think's that's what I'm starting to think is going on.
That she's just there to hook up?
I think she likes them both, but I think she's only interested in one serious relationship, but she doesn't want to give up the other one because she enjoys him as well.
Which one do you think she's seriously interested in?
I think at the end of the day, she's going to seriously be interested in Cole maybe, but I think he's a huge red flag. I would be running from him at this point, and she's still sticking around.
She says she wants her space.
Yeah, that might just be a game, or maybe she's just mad and needs to get over it.
I'm thinking this is I don't know. I'm just thinking it's the edit that they pulled that from an earlier clip just to keep the drama going.
Maybe.
Because I would be over this petty middle school, like, I talked to you and wrote you a note, and now we're boyfriend and girlfriend forever.
Yeah. Well,
it's either very clear. I'm here getting to know people.
Yeah, it's either the edit or, like I said, she's still reeling from the attack from earlier, and she just wants to be alone. Just leave me alone.
Which attack? The one where he went up to Tim? This most recent one? Like, if you have this many problems a weekend, girl, that is a red banner.
Well, I think he's a walking red flag. I would have been like, after the Tim incident and he shushed her and sent her off, I would have been done then.
And Jen is 32 years old. I just hope in your 30s you would not put up with that.
Well, you would think, but I think a lot of times people's decisions are based off of their trauma, like past traumas. And I think she has a pattern for liking guys like this, and she doesn't know how to get out of that pattern.
That's what Tim said. That's what Tim said. So at the tiki party, Courtney is hanging out with Elise, and she starts talking about her feet pics, which, if you remember back during COVID, I told you about this on 90 Day, and how the girl was shoving her feet in cupcakes. So that's Courtney. You've met Courtney now.
Yeah, I remember us talking about it because we were actually considering it as a second source of income.
It's something more fun to do than law.
Yeah.
Plus, I have very pretty feet.
You do.
You said, you were like, I've seen your feet. I noticed before. Actually, I had somebody in law school during intramural soccer tell me I had gorgeous feet and high arches. Anyway, I digress. Enough about my feet. So they are talking about Rob and Jen, which this feels very producer set up, because then they just kind of ease their way into, well, you know, Usman's on a date with Nikki. All right, first of all, Courtney knew that. So it's not really the surprise that they're making it out to be. Second, that transition wasn't even really a transition. They're just talking smack about Jennifer and Rob. And then, like, moving on, let's talk about one of your love interests, Courtney, because, you know, obviously there's like a whole Colt Usman thing going on. Let's talk about one of your interests, Elise, because Elise has 3 guys after her. We've got Tim, Colt, and, well, not Rob anymore. Never mind.
Yeah, Rob's not interested after
down
she
to 2.
Yeah, after
But
she did the
both of them
whole.
are Colt's love interests. So, you know what? Jen's not the only one dating multiple people here. She's the only one that production is showing us the hookup scenes from. That's it.
She's the only one getting any action.
That we're seeing, that the edit is showing us. Anyway, now Courtney says she feels confused and rejected. And this is where Elise and Courtney are both saying, ugh, beer bath, yeast infection. I understand. Totally feel you on that. Now, Tiffany thinks that it's nice that Carlo is challenging himself to date her, but this isn't the real world, Tiffany. Like, you have kids in the real world. Right now, you guys are in this paradise. What happens when you get home?
True. But at least she appreciates that he's challenging himself.
You don't want to be someone's challenge.
No.
Doesn't really scream partnership. You want to find someone who fits already. Anyway, so Chantel and Joe, they're looking like they fit.
Yeah, they're looking like a couple, really.
They really are. And they walk up and Colt is looking at them. He's like, I want that. I really should ask Courtney out. I want that to be me and Courtney. Okay, look, dude, it's been a week.
Ask her out if you're going to already.
Well, it's only been a week. He's still getting to know her. So we have the Usman redemption arc. Usman goes up, talks to Courtney. At first, Courtney is like, well, I don't know. Like, basically, you were jealous about my friendship with Colt, and you purposely tried to hurt me. And then Usman gives her almost an ultimatum. It was really weird how he asked her out. He was like, look, I know when to leave people alone. When they're not interested in me, I just can move along. So tell me, do you want to go on a date with me or not?
Yeah. But, like, I mean, he's really smooth with some of the stuff that he says to her. So I think he does a good job of convincing her to. I mean, by the end of it, I think
yes, but
she feels like she had to beg him for the date.
And that's where he's like, no, I'm begging you. No, you were not begging her until right now, after you tried to make her jealous, after you pretended not to know her the first night.
Yeah, I don't understand him at all.
I was shocked. I was shocked that Courtney gave him a chance, but I think it's because he was like, okay, look, make a decision now. Either go on a date with me or don't. I don't know. I just didn't like how it was approached, how he's approached this whole thing. Like, he's sitting there trying to make her jealous, trying to make her feel hurt. Jealousy is not a good feeling. It's a hurt feeling. And then he's like, I'm not here to hurt you or make you feel like a fool, but you're trying to make her feel jealous. It's different.
Yeah. Yeah. I see where you're going with that. Yeah. That makes sense.
Me making her feel hurt and like a fool because she's talking to Colt and Colt has a crush on her is she felt hurt and confused and everything when you took someone else on a date, and that was on purpose.
Well, I mean, it's almost like if he has any competition, he's just not even going to try. He needs to make her validate to him that she has feelings for nobody else, or he's not going to waste his time or whatever.
Actions speak louder than words. I just can't believe she agreed to go on a date with him after that. I'm not trying to hurt you, but his actions were to hurt you on purpose. He just admitted that. Anyway, Tiffany asked Colt if he thinks that Usman was seeking revenge on the date. And Colt's like, look, he didn't think that Courtney would give him Usman another shot either. I wonder if it's because of like that scarcity theory, where if something is scarce, then you want it more. Like, he's about to disappear, so I better grab that toilet paper off the shelves before it's gone.
Maybe. I just thought that, Courtney seems to think that her and Colt are really good friends, so they probably have a lot of conversations, and he probably genuinely didn't think that she would give Usman the time of day after what he had done.
It's only been a week. Like,
I know.
To know him. It took me more than a week to even like my husband as a friend. I thought he was obnoxious when I first met him. It takes time. It's only a week. And Colt, he feels like maybe he's waited too long. As soon as he said that, I was sitting there thinking, dude, listen to Rob. Rob said earlier, anybody who has made a decision within a week needs to reevaluate. She hadn't made a decision yet. And sure enough, when Usman walks her home, she's like, I'm going to go in and shower. And they hug. They're not even kissing because she doesn't feel like he's deserving of a kiss yet. And that's it.
Yeah. I honestly think all of these people are actually kind of moving kind of slow. What's wrong with just, if you're interested in somebody, go start spending some time with them. Go start talking to them. Go on a date.
Well, we see what the repercussions of that are, because everybody who's doing that, except for Cole, who has made himself into a victim, everybody else has, like, Rob and Jennifer have just been taken they've just been taken down.
I don't know. That's just me. I think that it's ridiculous that they're acting that way with the ones who are going ahead and spending time with each other. And the rest of them are taking too long to spend time with the ones that they're interested in my opinion.
Well, then we get Jay back. And Jay asks Tiffany out on a date. So Tiffany is now taking on guy number 3, which I'm very glad. I'm very glad that somebody is going on a date with Jay. He has been my hottie since night 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been saying that Tiffany just needs to scratch these other guys. And at this point, she's like, not so sure about Carlo because of how he feels about kids. I'm still kind of open book. She says she thinks she's been clear with Carlo and Rocky about where she stands. So she's afraid that adding Jay will make it messy. Okay. First of all, Jennifer has been clear with Cole where she stands.
Yes.
He just doesn't want to see it her way.
No.
Which we find out when they talk to Tanya in a minute. But okay, Tiffany, yes, you have been clear, but these guys are like listening to you. They are saying, okay, you are seeing different people. You're dating around. That's cool. Whereas Cole is sitting there going, okay, I'm all in. I'm all in, all chips on the table. I'm going to make you feel bad because you're not. Like, you're being honest with them that you're seeing both of them, but like, are you giving every intimate detail of your dates? Are you telling them like every single little thing? Because the way Cole's acting, he wants to be a fly on the wall when Jennifer is out with Rob or whoever else. But you're going to be all judgy wedgy and then add a third guy. The only thing that's different is that the edit is showing her making out and getting naked with these guys. So we're slut shaming is what we're doing.
Oh, that's not fair either.
You know what? I don't know that either of these guys are great for Jennifer. So she might as well have some fun. She's not married to either of them.
I think they all should be having some fun.
Just have fun. It might just be for tonight, not forever. Not with these clowns.
How old are these people supposed to be again? Doggone.
I know. Like, I look at their ages and I'm just shaking my head. So the next day we go to Rob and Jen and they're meeting with Tanya. So our therapist, our coaches, they're actually going to do something. They're going to sit there and try to mediate this crazy miscommunication, or just, I don't know, maybe she can unclog Cole's ears and make him listen to Jennifer.
I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's a matter of what he hears. I think it's a matter of what he thinks.
Now, Jennifer, this kind of confused me. She says that Rob likes to be outside the drama, but Cole, that's who she's leaning more towards. And she doesn't want to repeat a pattern that she had with her ex-husband in past relationships where these guys are controlling. Yet she sees that Cole is controlling, and she's saying that that's her number 1. Now, I did notice during that part, there was definitely some robo edits. There are about 6 or 7 cuts from her talking. Like, you see her in that pink outfit with the drink in front of her and the beachy background, which is definitely a set. Liz called that from the first episode. And then you see them talking to Tanya, and then you see that background, and you can even hear the Franken edit, which is where at one point they show her talking at the ITM and then they switch over and you can hear the voice change, where she's talking about Rob and how he makes her comfortable. So she doesn't want to repeat these problems, but this is her number 1.
I did not understand it when she was sitting there saying that Rob liked to be outside the drama. He made her feel comfortable, made her want to spend more time with him. For me, if somebody makes me feel comfortable or feel like I can be myself, that's the person I want to be around, not someone that's got me wondering if every time I open my mouth, I'm going to say something wrong or do something wrong or be on edge. So why would you choose the one that gives you all these triggers and red flags?
And I think the answer is that she's getting love bombed.
By Cole.
She is getting love bombed by Cole. He's sitting there saying, I'm all in. I came here ready to give it all to the person who deserves it. And I think Jennifer deserves it. And that's the difference between her and me, is I'm all in and she is not. She wants somebody to be all in. Mm-hmm. She just isn't waiting for them to get to know her first and be all in for her. She's all in for the idea of Carlo. She's like, he could be a good partner. He has potential. She's falling in love with the potential that she sees because he's sitting there ready to commit. He's love bombing. He is commitment bombing her. And Rob is just playing it cool and getting to know her first and letting her make her own decisions. And he's still married, so he's not ready to commit. So I think she is falling for the urgency to commit. She's like, this guy's ready to be in a relationship, but it's been a week. This is a red flag. He doesn't know you. He didn't even know you were on 90 Day Fiancé. And he's sitting there and basically making you feel bad for dating other people, but then saying that you deserve all of him. That's two different things.
They're on two different pages.
Are you giving your all to somebody who you're so critical of?
Yeah, they're on completely two different pages. I'll be shocked if this works.
He should not be all in this fast. Rob is absolutely right. Yeah. So everything kind of gets cut to the wayside though, because we've got an ambulance. We don't know who it is. What we see, what we know, who it's not for sure. It's definitely not Cole and Jen because they're sitting with Tanya when this happens. It's definitely not Tiffany and Tim and Rob because they're sitting there. Tiffany's kind of talking about her date. Tim is giving her a hard time. Like, look, she's like a playa. Look at all these guys she's juggling. And then all of a sudden they like run off to the ambulance. Now, as they're running, Dee and I watched this on like 0.25 speed. We were trying to figure out who is it? Who can we see? Mm-hmm. And in the background, I think I see Colt. It's this guy. It's a little bit blurry, but it looks about silhouette the same as Cole. The guy has like long crew cut socks on. I mean, not like knee height, but you know, not the short ones. The ones that are apparently in style now. But he's also dressed very much like Colt would dress, like a t-shirt and like shorts that are a little bit too short. It looks like Colt from afar. You can't really tell. It's blurred out, but we did watch it a few times, and I think that's Colt. My guess is that Usman is the one going into the ambulance because Courtney is crying. Now, Courtney's very emotional. She could be crying about anybody. And we do know it's a guy because Tim says, "You okay, brah?"
Yeah, he called him bro.
So my guess is Usman.
Yeah.
And I think that's your guess too.
Yeah, it was my guess. At first, I thought maybe Colt or Usman, but then when we seen the silhouette, he definitely.
When I split it down, I was like, "D."
Yeah.
You're
It
like,
definitely looks like Colt, so I'm gonna have to go with Usman.
I think it's going to be Usman, but we'll see. I mean, I could see Courtney crying over anybody having to go into the ambulance. Now, I didn't think other people looked super concerned. Tiffany was like, "Oh man, are you okay?" But she looked kind of confused. Mm-hmm. It didn't look like somebody was being loaded up and they had like a knife sticking out the side of their leg. I don't know.
No.
Just, nothing like they weren't missing a limb.
No, I didn't see any urgency in anybody around.
No, just Courtney was upset. So maybe she was with Colt. Maybe she pushed him down the stairs. We'll find out next week.
Till then.
Until then. All right. Well, thank you for listening, Channel Surfers. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure that you follow us. It really helps the algorithms if you subscribe on Apple Podcasts or follow us on Spotify or YouTube. And if you like so that other people can see it in the algorithm, if you give us this 5-star review so people are like, "Oh, this isn't absolutely horrible. This is semi-entertaining." Thanks. Okay. Maybe, they're not that funny, but they think they are. Whatever. It helps us. And we would really appreciate. Shut up. Hey, Channel Surfers. It is almost 3:00 in the afternoon and I'm about to drink because Dee just told me to go get beer.
This always happens.
Always. Before we started recording the ending, she goes, "Lauren, it takes you like 5 or 6 times." And like, we're probably on time 10 right now.
At least.
I have so much to say. I'm just blurting it all out. Anyway, can you believe that next week it will be 3 months of podcasting? We will be on Apple, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Blah. See, we're not redoing it. We're just going. We're just rolling with this. Y'all are getting used to it at this point.
Let's see where this goes. All right.
Let's see where it goes.
Game.
Can you believe that we've been there for 3 months?
No, I cannot believe we've been doing it 3 months. It seems so much longer than that, but we're having fun. So I'm sure that's the reason why.
Time flies when you're having fun. Although, Dee, I thought you were going to be like, "Oh, it feels like forever." We haven't been on YouTube that long or TikTok. It's probably only been a few weeks, maybe a month since we started posting.
We
there.
weren't supposed to be on YouTube at all.
No, but it's supposed to help the algorithms.
I know.
So, yeah, make sure you like and subscribe. We want new channel surfers to come and find us. Right now, I think in our Facebook group, we might have about 35. And also, as a reminder, you guys have given us a chance. So we want to give you a chance. I was thinking about advertising, and then I thought, well, I want to get a little more consistency. I feel like we're starting to get more consistent.
I do.
So in the meantime, I thought, well, look, we have these people that are giving us a chance. They're joining our Facebook group. They're leaving us those 5-star reviews and writing just like the sweetest things. So thanks, guys, on Apple Podcasts. And that helps our algorithms. So if you're in our Facebook group, or if you have left us a 5-star review and commented in a comment on Apple Podcast, we're doing 2 different drawings. September 1st, we're going to put all of those names from the Facebook group, all of the names from Apple Podcast into a hat, and then we're going to pull a name, and whoever's name we pull, you win $50, and you will have a couple of weeks to reach out to us and claim it so we can get your information and send it to you. But yeah, we wanted to thank you. You gave us a chance. We want to give you a chance. And yeah, we might do some advertising pretty soon, but we're just going with the flow. Okay, you guys are getting this all crazy, all of it. So yeah, make sure you do all those subscriber thingies, especially that right now. I think if you haven't left a review and 5-star rating on Apple Podcast, that's a pretty small drawing right now. You guys are going to have a really good chance. So we're going to give it till September 1st and see what happens.
And that's 2 chances, by the way. That's 1 for the group on Facebook and 1 for the podcast comments.
Absolutely. I love Facebook groups. I just think they can be so therapeutic. And for years, I've been part of podcast groups, and I love giving my opinion on those and trying to help others out. And really, it's part of what inspired me to do this podcast. I always have an opinion about something. And I love hearing other people's opinions. Like TikTok, you guys pointed me in the right direction. My YouTube DVR got rid of the steamy scene between Rob and Jen, but you told me to go to Max. So today, when I was comparing scenes from this week's episode where they're having their little jammy party and Rob has his like little pink capri jammies, I compared that to the night one. I went over to Max and I was able to see all of the scenes. Now, there were some differences. The flag on the wall and this other like decoration on the wall in Jen's room were not there tonight, which was very strange. The other thing is at the end of the bench, you see her gray suitcase in the exact same position both nights. So maybe they don't have housekeeping at, maybe it could be like a green hotel. I don't know. I just thought it was interesting.
It could have been a pillow she brought with her.
It wasn't a pillow. It was a suitcase, a gray suitcase, like one that's on wheels and it's turned on its side, like, and the small end is facing the camera. Anyway, I don't know. I just know I heard some Franken edits today, so I started deep diving. Well, channel servers, thank you again for listening. We love you all. Thank you for
we do.
Chance. We will be back with True Crime Saturday. We might be able to slip something extra in this week. I don't know. D, boss, how bad is my schedule? I know we got stuff tomorrow, and we'll see. Well, I'm going to talk to my boss off camera. D, call my paralegal my boss because she manages my calendar and tells me when I have to work.
It's my new nickname.
Depending on how much work she's given me this week, we may or may not drop something sooner, but we will be back with True Crime Saturday. Thank you for listening, channel surfers. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Let's ride.
Don't delay